few weeks, or I'm still on the road, going to be on the road for a while. And I've gotten a lot of questions about the trip I took to China in July, and then the one that I just wrapped up the last 2 weeks. So the first 2 weeks of September 2023, basically. So I thought it would be good to record a podcast and answer a lot of the questions that I've been getting. So I'm not going to ask and then answer myself. We'll spare you that situation, but I'm just going to go through kind of a list of some of the questions that people ask me. So first off, in terms of entry, I would think most of you have heard that in, I think, May, China reopened the borders for foreigners. So if you had a existing valid visa, so if you're from a country that had 5 or 10-year visas, the US has had 10-year visas for quite a while now, then that visa was valid again. If in the meantime you have changed passports, you can take your new passport and the old one with the visa in it together to get into the country. If you don't have a visa, the time that it takes to get one depends on which embassy or consulate you're sending your passport to. But I understand that they've been fairly lengthy times, but it is possible. Not every type of visa is being given, but if you're going on business, you can apply under that standard, that type of visa. Getting into the country, I wrote a long post on LinkedIn about getting into the country in July. It's really not much different in September. You need to fill out an online health questionnaire, after which you'll get a code. You can do that before you get to the arrival gate, once you've landed, before you get to immigration. You could do it before that. I wouldn't do it too much before that because it's timed. If you don't have WeChat, in WeChat it's easy. You go to basically a mini program, and if you've already done it once, it's easier to update it the second time. You also, FYI, have to do it when you leave the country. Same thing. If you've done it once, it's easier to do it the second time. There are people standing there to help you. If you don't have WeChat, you can scan a QR code and go to a website where you fill it out, and you'll still get that the final QR approval that you have to show someone as you're walking through before you get to immigration. There's Wi-Fi in most of the airports or train stations, but to be frank, you're going to need to pay whatever your normal home carrier's per day roaming fee is when you're in China. I have a Chinese phone that I started up again, but I can't. It's hard to put DD. I have DD on it, but if I put WeChat on it, WeChat's verified through my foreign phone, my US phone. So I'd have to have both of them on anyways every time I switch back and forth. Same thing for I make my airline and train reservations through Ctrip. What used to be called Ctrip is now called Trip, and that's on my home phone. So I never ended up loading or trying to load everything on my new China phone. I can also use the China phone, however, as a hotspot, so that my US phone can connect to it if I don't want to pay the $10 a day roaming fees. But then on the US phone, I'm connected to the Chinese mobile service with all of its restrictions. So I can't get into LinkedIn or Gmail or some other things. So for the 2 weeks I was there, I ended up paying the $10 almost every day. So that's your kind of entry and getting set up.